Next, I'd like to welcome Brian Tohana. And Brian loves eating perfectly ripe avocados, playing squash, slacklining, whatever that is, and maybe he'll tell you, and coaching high performers. He believes our strength is in our difference and teaches what he calls applied empathy to help couples and teams connect across differences, leveraging the power of their diversity. He's fascinated by our psychological safety and conscious communication as the foundation for getting the most out of all our relationships, from the boardroom to the bedroom. So please join me in welcoming Paul. Brian Tohana.
Thanks, Paul. Thanks everyone for sharing your wisdom. It's really cool to hear essentially reminders of what we already know, I think a lot of us, and this is going to be the same for me here. So if you want to take this time to also close your eyes and check in, that would be awesome, and just listen to my voice, or feel free to watch as well. But I know for me, looking at the screen for a long period of time can be a lot. So if that feels good to you, close your eyes and let's go on a little ride. So I have 4 provocative questions for us. The first is based on Brené Brown, Unlocking Us podcast I listened to yesterday. If you haven't listened to it yet, it's amazing. She talked about this idea of settling the ball. I grew up playing soccer, and when a ball is kicked to you, before you just kind of pass it on to someone else, it's often good to kind of chest it down or kind of settle the ball between your feet, look up before you make your next move. And I feel like this, in this time especially, is really this moment of pause, of checking in, what's really important right now? Because everything that's made you successful today is now exactly what's holding you back from your next level of success. What got you here won't get you there. So beliefs are like vehicles. So as we manage our energy, more important than just the right action is our beliefs, where we're actually coming from. You could take 100 different actions from the same belief and get the same result. So it's not a matter of self-discipline or effort that matters most. So the first question is an insight question. It's what assumptions are driving your actions? What assumptions are driving your actions? I was working with a vice president last week, and he was trying to enroll his senior vice presidents into his vision, and he just kept getting frustrated because he had the belief they won't be able to understand. So he could try and explain it a million different ways, but if you're operating from an ineffective belief, assumption, conclusion, or expectation, what's unconscious is what's driving our actions. So the first question is an insight question. What assumptions are driving your actions? Number 2, it's not selfish to put yourself first. Sacrifice for the good of others is awesome. And this is a reminder, but that doing that consistently at the expense of yourself is what leads to caregiver burnout. So it's just a reminder that business thrives when we're emotionally available and have the capacity or the inner resources to respond consciously and creatively. And none of these questions matter if, like Karen and Tatiana spoke about, if you're not breathing and you're not moving, none of these questions matter. So do those things first and then ask yourself these questions. The second question is a capacity question. Before I jump to help, what do I need right now? What do I need right now? It's a capacity question, checking in. Am I at 40% or am I at 100%? If I'm not at 100%, how can I really serve? So before I jump to help, what do I need right now? Number 3, comparative suffering. It's common to not acknowledge our own emotions because we measure them against others. Our emotions don't seem to score high enough on the suffering board, right? So we think if I'm not in enough pain compared to others, who am I to ask for help? So Brené Brown says the surest way to ensure that you have a reserve of compassion and empathy for others is to attend to your own feelings. Give yourself permission to ask for help. I just hired my 7th coach recently, and it was actually humbling, which is surprising. I was surprising how humbling it was. It felt like I was giving up by hiring a coach, even for the 7th time, but I was actually empowering myself. I had to remind myself that I need to let someone in order to help me thrive. So the third question is a support question. How am I honestly feeling right now? And who can I let in? And let's pair that with acknowledging our emotions. So becoming aware of our emotions instead of reacting from them. I'm confused, and that's okay. Tacking on, that's okay. I'm hurting, and that's okay. I'm angry, and that's okay. I'm scared, and that's okay. So we need to learn how to respond to each other in ways that actually help us feel heard as well. So the fourth question is a focus question. Am I offering empathy or advice? So often we give unsolicited advice, and in this time more than ever, it's easy to slip into problem-solving mode, making things better, treating people like machines, like problems to be solved. But we're complex, and we need to be seen, heard, understood, and acknowledged. So empathy sounds like, if I were you, I would think or feel that way too, because blank, and that makes sense. So letting people know they're not alone. So I'll just wrap up with the summary. Insight question, what assumptions are driving your actions? Capacity question, before I jump to help, what do I need right now? Support question, how am I honestly feeling right now? And who can I let in? And a focus question, am I offering empathy or advice?